Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, was released in 1986. It stars Michael Rooker, and it's just the chronicles of a serial killer named Henry, just going around killing people, and he lives his life with this one friend of his and this woman. There's not really much plot to this movie. It's just a serial killer going around killing people and shit. That's it. And despite the fact that this movie really does not have a plot, this movie's fantastic. I'm just gonna come out and say it. This movie's wonderful. It's super low budget, but it uses it to great effect. This is a bleak, dark, very gritty and grimy movie, and it is phenomenal. Now, if you were to watch this movie for the first time, you'd be kind of wondering, how is this a horror movie? Because the first bit of this movie is just very long dialogue sequences. And yeah, this movie's full of like very lengthy dialogue sequences, but man, when it gets to like the serial killer shit, man, this movie gets really bleak. And even though most of the kills are off screen, the aftermaths of the deaths, like you see the dead bodies and there's this really haunting musical score in the background, and it is just done so effectively. And even the kills that are on screen, well, it's not like the goriest thing you'll ever see. It's very well done. The kills in this movie, the ones that you see anyway, are pretty well done. Now, I always saw this movie on like people's list of like the most disturbing movies ever made, and when I saw this movie for the first time when I was about 14, 15 years old, I saw this movie for the first time around the same time I've watched movies like I Spit on Your Grave and Cannibal Holocaust for the first time, and at the time I didn't really get why people thought this was disturbing because it doesn't really show much, but thinking about it now after upon rewatch, it's the tone. It's the tone, the musical score. That's what really does it. And now I understand why people think this movie's so disturbing. It's the tone. The tone does all the work here. The performances in this movie are generally extremely well done, especially Michael Rooker. This was one of his earliest roles, and I think he knocked it out of the park. He does a phenomenal job at playing Henry. And the thing is, like, Michael Rooker's performance, it isn't much different from a lot of his other performances. Like, to me, it still seemed like a typical Michael Rooker performance, but there's just something about it in certain scenes where he does a really fucking good job at being very, very unsettling. And, like, say, if you were to see, like, this exact same person, like, this movie character in real life, yeah, you'd be like, oh man, yeah, something ain't right about you, man. I'm getting some pretty terrible vibes from you, and I just want to stay the fuck away from you. And the thing is, this movie's based off of a real serial killer, because yeah, this is one of those based on a true story movies. And even though I really highly enjoy this movie, I didn't really do much research on the story that this is based off of, but if it is accurate to what the real serial killer was like in real life, then yeah, this movie did a phenomenal job on that too. But yeah, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer is a very atmospheric, gritty, grimy, really very, very unsettling movie. It's horrific, even though it doesn't show a whole lot. It manages to do that without showing a whole lot of gore and like hardcore violence. You do get some violence here and there, especially in the final act. But yeah, this movie is just all about mood and showing a very disturbed person in a very compelling way, like a very compellingly dark way. Michael Rooker is really good in his role. The filmmaking is phenomenal. It's super low budget and it uses that to great effect. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer is a movie I highly recommend to people who like true crime stuff and just like very like dark, unsettling horror as well. It's a great watch. It's one of my favorite horror films of the 80s. Abso-fucking-lutely. I am going to give Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, an A+.